In the second round of the Budapest tournament, I played white against a candidate master with 2200 elo. And if you watch my previous video, you may understand why my mission for this game, my goal for this game was just don't sacrifice anything, Andrzej. This should be enough. So let's see how it went in practice. I played this this close Sicilian line. I enjoy playing this recently because there are so many sidelines, and usually you can easily lose your opponent in the way you develop. And even like I've played, for example, recently I played some tournaments with bishop b5, and everyone knew that I played this move, and everyone was preparing with their engines, with their trainers. Still, I got good positions and good results. So I decided to just repeat what I play more or less with those setups. E6 is also a very flexible move from the black perspective because it doesn't really tell much how exactly black is going to develop. So it's a good move. Now d5, okay, d5 is already a decision, so we can expect, we know what are the possible pawn structures here. Like instead of d5, knight e7, for example, is an interesting move. Even Carlsen with white played this against So Wesley So played knight e7. There was also, I think, somewhere in this line there was an Anand Kasparov game. So this line, those lines were very popular in the late 90s, early 2000 years. I don't know why they're no longer so popular, but hey. Okay, d5, bishop b5. Knight e7, so no double pawns. Queen e2. Again, here are some other possibilities. You can play ed5 here. You can play, I think castle is possible. You can play e5. Knight e5 is possible. Probably b3 is possible. I'm guessing a3 is possible as well. So many different ways of developing pieces here. I played queen e2 to put some pressures on the e line. He took, I took. And I already decided, like this tournament actually was one of the themes for this tournament for me was to have to play without the bishop's pair. So I was easily giving my bishop for the knight. And here I had prepared b3. That's the best move. Probably castle is better. But if black plays normal moves, I think white can get a really nice position. So normal moves like knight e7, sorry, bishop e7. Knight b4 is an interesting move here because this is a weakness. And after d3, it's easier to play b5 and c4 at some point. So after normal moves, here there was still one game in the database, and white played short castle. I decided to play long castle. I really like how my bishop is targeting the knight. I like the idea of having those knights here. This queen is somewhere here. I can move my rooks. I can play something like this. So after queen c7, that was the moment when, so we're already after 11th move of black, which means my goal is so far going well because I didn't sacrifice anything yet. So in 12th move I decided to sacrifice. That wasn't even with much thinking, so this is probably showing that I'm more an intuitive player than analytical one. I didn't really calculate lines, like it was just looking so great without even calculating what I play next, whether it's g5 or there's rook hg1, maybe rook here. He didn't take on 4 at this moment, so g4 was like, I don't know, maybe I thought for 2 minutes or 1 minute. He played b5, and I played g5, so the pawn is still hanging, and he decided to play something weird, but practically it was good, I think, because he decided to put a piece in between my pieces and his knight by sacrificing a pawn, but also by opening a line, so a good counterattack chance. And I decided not to take the pawn. The computer shows that I should take the pawn, but I think as a human I shouldn't take the pawn. So it's just opening too much for black as well. So I'm just preparing my game. I want to play my game here, and finally he took on e4, and now the obvious move, rook f1 and queen e5, and that was the moment where I thought that this should be like I'm already probably winning. Don't remember what was the computer evaluation, doesn't matter. I think like from a human perspective I'm winning, but I think that was overestimation from my side. Even if you look at the position, okay, I have two rooks, I have knight, but there is a rook, there is a bishop, there is a queen, they're all defending the king, so probably it's not so easy to get through. And I was trying to calculate like, okay, where's the checkmate, and there's no checkmate yet here. However, queen g4 was the move to play. And now, for example, if black plays something normal, I have the similar position as in the game, so with the f6 pawn, but now the opponent doesn't have any queen h5 move. So queen h4, and now there are some plans with rook g3, rook h3, so this is probably winning. While in the game, I played queen d3, and I thought this is a very similar idea. So knight f6, he takes, and g6, and now I played queen h3, but now h5 is possible. So in the previous line, okay, what was the difference exactly? So here's this position, queen h4. So because h5, then rook g5, so I had already rook g5, so that's the difference. While in the game, so yeah, in the game we have this position, and I don't have rook g5 because my queen is on h3, so that's the difference. And when I played this, he already has some time for a counterattack. So after rook g5, I think there is queen e4 and no longer checkmate threats. So now it's time. I'm actually quite happy that I understood that I no longer have a winning attack, so it's time to consolidate, to play some prophylactic moves. And I was just after finishing a video course on Chessable by Kramnik about prophylactic, so it was good to get some kind of prophylactic thinking. So you can see king b1, d3, queen f2. So I'm going back a little bit, probably not most precise plans, but I'm consolidating and also building some threats. We have the opposite color bishop position, so we should attack, but I feel like I'm defending now. Probably I'm even worse in this position. But okay, let's just play and see. Maybe my opponent will make some mistakes. And here was a position where it's close to a mistake, because after in this position I now have this tactics with rook f5, which is still fine for black, but now it's losing. So I think it was in this position somewhere, queen g5. There was this e4 idea, so probably here. Yeah, maybe it was here. Yes, e4, d4, d3, cd3, and rook c3. So a great counterattack for black, probably equalizing somewhere here. And after queen g5, yeah, rook f5. Now this was a nice trap. Like, you should always try things like this. So rook takes f4, f3, then e4, but I can just take. And the final blunder is rook c6. Finally, I was waiting for the blunder. You can pause the video and try to guess the move. Okay, the move is rook e8, and it's over. So my opponent resigned. Yeah, so after 2 rounds, I've had 1 from 2 games. That this game helped me build my confidence. It wasn't perfect, but you know, I've shown my attacking skills a little bit, my creativity, but also my prophylactic and my defense skills. So that was important for me in that tournament. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.